Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the Game Dojo and welcome to 24K Reviews. Movies, TV shows, games, we do it all. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a passion project that I wanted to review today. The big shout out from this one goes to Phil, my brother Phil. Phil B. Jackson. Brother, I do not know if you was hooked to this or up to key to this. They started a Kickstarter back in 2023, and I don't know if you was aware, but this review specifically, brother, is a shout out to you, an homage to you, brother. We are reviewing The Last Kumite, and I don't know if you guys heard of it. I don't know if you guys know of it. So there is a group of production and movie aficionados that got together. They are fans of that 80s genre that we love so much. That Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Cynthia Rothrock, Billy Blanks, No Retreat, No Surrender, No Retreat, Action Jackson. Remember those great action 80s movies? Pretty much every Van Damme movie, there's a tournament. People come from all across the world. They fight. Van Damme wins. The end. The great Stan Bush did so many different musics and so many different soundtracks back in the day. So apparently these people got together and they wanted to do a passion project to bring back the nostalgia of those movies, to prove that there is still a draw. There is still a draw, and there is still some untapped energy in this type of movie. And basically what we got was a Van Damme movie without Van Damme. Now, I know that seems like it would be a turnoff, but it's really not, because the action-packed, studded team in here, they've got people from everywhere. Like I said, Cynthia Rothrock is in here. Billy Blanks is in here. My boy from No Retreat, No Surrender is in here. They got Bolo Young's son is in here. That's right, Bolo Young's son, who looks exactly like his father, is in here. Kurz. There, oh my God, there is just so many people to name. There's too many to name, actually, for this film. You'll go through and you'll say, hey, isn't that, oh, I saw him in Kickboxer, I saw him in Bloodsport, I saw him in China O'Brien, oh, I saw him in Blood Moon, oh, I saw so-and-so. Like, literally, this movie shows that there is still untapped oomph in the action drama and martial arts. Everything we see nowadays has been so quick to just flips and spins and monkey man moves, and it's not martial arts anymore. It's not the genre that we grew up watching. It's not the Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. It's not the Kickboxer, you know, it's not the Dennis Alexio, it's not the Van Damme. Even Arnold got into a little bit of martial arts. He did a few forms in The Last Action Hero. That's a little throwback I'm just including. Carl Weathers, the late Carl Weathers, Action Jackson. There is so much into the martial arts aspect of these movies. It made it great. I can't tell you how many times I watch Bloodsport. It doesn't matter if you believe the Frank Duck story or not. It doesn't matter if you like Van Damme or not. I can't tell you how many times I watch Bloodsport. I can't tell you how many times I watch Lionheart. Can't tell you how many times I watch Kickboxer. Can't tell you how many times I watch China O'Brien. I can't tell you how many times I watched Blood Moon. Can't tell you how many times I watched Dom the Dragon Wilson. I can't. There's just so many martial arts action stars. Gary Daniels, Mark Dacascos. I am not going to give Mario Van Peebles a pass on Solo. Hell no. Where he had the fighting skills of Bruce Lee and the jumping abilities of Michael Jordan. Mario Van Peebles, you are not included in this. I can't give you that. Solo is so low. It was the lowest rented movie in Blockbuster on the shelf. Like, you had to bend down to tie your shoes to grab Solo. So that's a great name for it, because it was so low you couldn't see that bitch in Blockbuster. I can't include you in here. I want to. I really want to, but I can't do it. I can give you more credit for Full Eclipse, where you became a werewolf and you were fighting on that team of police officers. You did more in that movie. I just can't include Solo in here. But we're talking about the Last Kumite. Now, the Last Kumite, they, like I said, it started out as a GoFundMe, and then they had a crowd-funded thing going on, and they literally got what they got in order to get this project off the ground. And this is one of the things that could have benefited from an actual funder and a backing. I would love to see where this project would have gone with actual huge funding. I hope this inspires and shows that there is still money to be made in the genre of martial arts, real martial arts. I'm not talking about the banana hammock spinning, flipping things that people have come to think. And I'm not talking about MMA, where it's just all mixed martial arts, which Bruce Lee, by the way, came up with the concept. None of y'all give him credit for it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual functional martial arts and actual movies that it really works. I'm not talking about just jujitsu and martial arts wrestling. I'm not talking about, see, and here's the thing. You may hate Steven Seagal. I get it. The guy may be a piece of shit, but you can separate the artist from the art. And who out there hasn't watched a Steven Seagal movie in the 80s? Go ahead, I'll wait. Come on, man. Out for Justice, Marked for Death, him, Steven Seagal versus the Jamaicans. Come on, tell me y'all ain't watched that. Executive Decision. He died in 4 seconds, but it was the best 4 seconds. Come on, y'all ain't watched that? Come on. Literally? Come on. What was the joint with him and Tommy Lee Jones on the ship? Under Siege. Y'all ain't watch Under Siege. Y'all ain't watch Under Siege with Tommy Lee Jones with the knife fight and the... Y'all ain't watched that? Come on. Y'all was in it. Y'all was watching it. Y'all watched it. Who killed Richie? Can anybody tell me why Richie killed Bobby Lupo? I know y'all watched it. Above the Law. Come on. There is like 97 billion Steven Seagal movies. You may not like him. Granted, that is out the door. I don't even think he's an American anymore. I think he's like over in Russia or something. Whatever. But he was a part of that genre in the 80s. So I have to include him, because to say I didn't watch him snapping bones, giving Indian burns, and breaking bones and snapping and flipping people over, that was inspiration. When I studied martial arts back in the 80s and in the 70s, he was an inspiration. He was part of the reason why I could get out of bed and wanted to practice and go to the park and go and after Kim's karate and after Kempo and Chang's and after Shaolin training. Like after doing all of that, you get inspired. Kung Fu movies, Shaw Brothers, Kung Fu Theater, Saturday mornings, Channel 48, Channel 57, Channel 29. Those Kung Fu movies that came on, that got you all lit up inside and you wanted to go outside and whoop somebody's ass because you done saw Brother Wang. He killed Brother Kang with Brother Dang. Bastard. It's gonna pay. Bruce Lee, God rest his soul. Brandon Lee even came in and gave the function in there. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Without knowledge, the man is who he is. He's legit. He is. And if you go back and look into his martial arts record, he wasn't known as Jean-Claude Van Damme at the time. He actually fought under his real life name at the time. He did study ballet, more modern ballet, but he did study martial arts and he did compete as a champion. We give him credit. He did do it. Mark Dacascos, the guy you may know him as the Iron Chef. You may see him on this and that. My man was in Kickboxer, The Redemption. He was in Only the Strong, where the capoeira was literally introduced to so many people in lives. The banana way, banana way, banana. Everybody knows about Mark Dacascos from that movie. We knew about him even before that. WMAC Masters, Tamac, The Last Dragon. All these things inspired an entire generation of people to learn martial arts, to learn martial science, to fight, to protect themselves, to learn knowledge, to literally get involved in something that was beyond themselves that even to this day a lot of them have inside. And believe it or not, even Ed O'Neill, that's right, Al Bundy has a black belt. That's right, even Al Bundy has a black belt. Al Bundy, that's right. Oh, come on, Peg. He could probably turn you into a pretzel and whoop your ass. Even at his age right now. That's what I'm saying when I say this goes that deep. You can go back. Now, the Last Kumite is a 2023, 2024 endeavor to incite that feeling. They made it fit. They filmed it as if it was in the 80s. They had the music as if it was in the 80s. They had the, the guy going to the karate mentor and learning martial arts how to be better from in the 80s, because every martial arts movie, you got your ass whooped, you almost died, and then there was this mentor that came along that taught you martial arts a better way, and you became a better fighter. We saw it in even the Karate Kid. Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi, he taught Daniel-san his way, Miyagi-Do karate, and Daniel-san became a fighter, a great fighter, even though now, because of Cobra Kai, we know Daniel is the asshole. He moved into town, moved in on his girl, and, you know what I'm saying, I see the other side of the fence now, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is maybe he should have left good enough alone.
To be fair with the character of Allie, she played both dudes because she said she didn't want. She said she broke up with him, with the one guy. So
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about after it was hashed out and hushed. He had nothing else to do with Daniel. Daniel decided to walk into the bathroom while my man was rolling a nice little weed blunt. You know how much weed cost at that time. You know weed was illegal. And he gonna put a hose over and wet my man's weed and wet his whole time up in the bathroom. Daniel's son deserved that ass whooping, and it came to him. So he deserved that with the skeleton suit. But Cobra Kai is another thing that when it first started showed that there is still life left in the genre. The Last Kumite is the same way. The movie is about a man who is into the martial arts. He's doing a tournament, and somebody approaches him to fight in the Kumite, and he refuses. So they kidnap his daughter. And basically he has no choice now, because now either he fights or they're going to kill his daughter. So he goes and he has to join this tournament, and of course the first guy you see is, well, let me show you, because rather than me say it, you'll instantly be like, hey, I know him. So I'm going to show him real quick. By the way, any of y'all who do movies, any of y'all who did martial arts back in the day, you're going to remember these things. This is how it felt when you was at like a tournament. They captured it really well. Better than Cobra Kai. They captured it much better than Cobra Kai. You see my man? That was the dude I was talking about. I'm actually going to turn that down because I don't want to, that was 9 seconds. I'm going to turn it down because I don't want to actually get none of Stan's music in here. Stan is a great musician, but as you're watching, like I said, you see a lot of these guys are older, they're a little bit longer in the tooth, but look at the real martial arts. And this goes without saying, I don't know if you noticed, but real martial arts will not look really good on film. All the stuff that you guys see that's choreographed 100% and is amazing, it looks amazing on film because they make it that way. Real martial arts is not going to really look good on film. This goes all the way back to even when Bruce Lee had to slow down his moves because the camera couldn't quite catch it. But yeah, you're looking at the tournament at the beginning of the movie that I was talking about. Like I said, and yeah, that's the blonde guy. I know he looks like he's from Die Hard and he's one of the terrorists. Clearly not. But this is what I was talking about in this movie. This is how it starts. But as we go on, so as we finally get down to it and the people come to the Kumite, you get that whole group of characters that you see with all the different martial arts styles unique. I'll show you that one. Yeah, there's the one capoeira guy because there has to be one Eddie Gordo guy. This is the thing that you got in a lot of Van Damme movies. Lionheart, Bloodsport, Kickboxer. I'm forgetting another major franchise that he did. Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Lionheart. Hold on one second. There's a movie where he went to like the end of the earth in like a forbidden city in China where he had to fight for like the gigantic golden dragon. The Quest. There you go. The Quest. See? The martial arts movie just keeps rolling in my head. The idea is the same in all those movies. Even though each movie was a different name and uniquely different, a bunch of people come from across the world. There's a tournament. They fight. Van Damme wins. The end. It's Mortal Kombat. I know. And to think about it, if you go way, way, way back, Van Damme was the original inspiration for Johnny Cage, and Raiden was the original inspiration for, Big Trouble in Little China. Thunder was the inspiration for Raiden. So when Mortal Kombat was coming together, those people were a part of that universe. Like I said, martial arts influenced a lot. Oh, Big Trouble in Little China. How could I forget that as one of the big martial arts movie? Jesus. Whew, that is one of my most favorite movies. I have a Big Trouble in Little China doll up on my wall. Doll. Action figure. Not a doll. Action figure. He's an action figure. I have Thunder. I'm still looking for Rain and Wind. People told me they're out, but I haven't found them. But I have Thunder. He's my favorite. He's an action figure, not a doll. Action figure. Correction. Action figure. Anyways. This movie, I definitely got where they were going for, and the energy is there. You get the feeling. All those familiar triggers are there. The mentor, the voice in your head, the fighting, the don't get up, and then my boy from No Retreat Surrender is in here. And I was just like, wow. So let me run through a little bit of the people for you before I go on. One quick second. Yeah, you'll recognize some of these characters. They're a little bit older now, but they still have their skill. And some of these original OGs still fight in this movie, including a fight scene from Billy Blanks at the end of this movie. Yeah, Billy Blanks still throwing it. Them 1976 Billy Blanks Kojak Taibo moves, he's still throwing it. Yeah, Billy Blanks is in this too, and he's playing, you guessed it, he's a janitor cleaning up something again. I know y'all remember the King of Kickboxers. That's another movie, King of Kickboxers. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you remember American Shaolin or Shaolin of the Orient? There's a bunch of different names they called it, where Drew Carson got his ass beat in a tournament and he went all the way to the Shaolin Temple and learned how to be a Shaolin monk and had to end up fighting somebody. And then the second movie, The King of Kickboxers, it was Billy Blanks who was the bad guy and they fought each other in that movie. So many movies in the 80s from martial arts that I remember. I gotta check my martial arts file and see if I got all of them. But Billy, yeah, Billy was another one. I know you recognize my boy here. He's been in so many movies, even in Van Damme movies. I know you recognize my boy here. Like I said, there's so many faces in here that they were able to get for this movie. I mean, I don't know what they was working with budget-wise, but I'm so glad so many people agreed to do this movie. And if you're wondering if the fight scenes are just as choreographed as they were from the 80s, this is one of the training scenes I was talking about. Look at a little bit of the fight scene. You'll get exactly what I'm talking about. Check it out. It's filmed exactly like they did from the 80s. Yep, that 7-star kicking style. Yeah, that's in here too. And of course, as the movie is going forward, we're probably about the halfway mark. They had to show her. My girl, your girl, Cynthia Rothrock. Yes, she's in here. China O'Brien herself is in here. Yes. Yes. And we get to see her throw down.
I can help you beat Draco. If he can be beat.
You get so many beautiful training martial arts montages in here. Very reminiscent of Van Damme and Kickboxer and Van Damme and Bloodsport. I love these sequences. These are probably the best because the training sequences from any movie in the 80s was the best. Even Rocky. And that's really what inspires a lot of martial artists and people who do these activities, because just watching these things pushes them to get up and do more. That's why these training scenes, like every time I watch Rocky, once I hear Heart's on fire and he's jumping with the rope, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go kill somebody. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Bolo Young's son is in here, looking just like his father. Oh my God. He couldn't even lie and say that that was not his son. Look at that. The movement, the body, the muscles. Yeah, Bolo, he is a chip off the old block. Look at him. Look at Bolo. That's what I'm saying. So much nostalgia is in this movie. I think they could have benefited from so much more of a budget. I absolutely think this movie could have been absolutely great. Love it. Gotta love it. Not to say the movie isn't great. The movie is absolutely great action-packed wise. Story, not so much. But it's an 80s story. 80s stories were never perfect. It was always about the action, the martial arts, and the shit that was going on. And then with that, they nailed it. They did nail it. Having said that, I love the nostalgia and the trip that they took us back on from the 80s. I wish more movies were as brazen and as bold to try and recapture that time frame. That's when movies were great. To quote a great person, make movies great again. I think that was Rain who said that. Rain said, make movies great again. Yeah, that was me. But yeah, so the movie The Last Kumite dives deep into nostalgia. I would love to see another endeavor from this project with an all-star studded cast. You remember how The Expendables gave you that feeling with all those action stars from the 80s clumped together for one movie? I would love to see all the martial arts stars that are still alive, still with us and able-bodied, even if they're not, if they're just making an appearance together in one movie. I would love to see Van Damme and Bolo Young again. The one scene of seeing Bolo Young's son, Billy Blanks, Cynthia Rothrock, and my boy from No Retrender, No Receipt, No Retrender, I can't even say it. No Retreat, No Surrender, in one scene is like, it's nostalgia overload, and that's the appeal of this movie. It is so appealing for that, and I kind of wish that more movies would take the chance and do that instead of just the bullshit that we're force-fed nowadays. During this past 2 weeks, 4 movies have come out. None of them have done well at all, unfortunately, and all of them have top billing actors. The Fall Guy, I hear, hasn't broken even, which is pretty bad. Planet of the Apes hasn't broken even, which is pretty bad. They have Garfield coming out. They don't expect to break even with that. The same. Like, we're in a state right now where movie theater experiences are very expensive. Ticket prices are very expensive. People's pockets are not as thrifty as they were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The economy sucks. People's lives, they have to prioritize what they do with their money over what they do with their luxuries. And sometimes a luxury simply means at home on a streaming service with their comfort of a TV in their bed and their own food, rather than going out to a movie theater and spending $57 on a Will Rogers combo, which is a small popcorn and a hot dog or some shit, for a seat that they have to pay, that they're assigned in now, because now you have, in certain theaters you have to pay for certain seats like it's an airport, like it's a plane. The media experience has gotten ruined. The TV experiences have gotten ruined. The gaming experiences are now getting ruined, and we are drastically heading to an apex point where the shit is going to crash. Sooner or later it's going to crash. Which is why endeavors like this should be celebrated and uplifted. The Last Kumite, is it the best film in the world? No. Is it going to win at the Cannes Film Festival or an Oscar? No, because great films don't even win there. Great films never win an award in any of these prestigious events,
and it's
because
probably not even going to be on Rotten Tomatoes.
No. You made me lose my train of thought. Good movies never win at these prestigious events because they're never celebrated with their accomplishments. They're celebrated because of their favoritism amongst the people that give them in glitter and gold and money, and everybody that greases the wheels of industry, which is part of the problem. you're so preoccupied with whether or not you didn't stop to think if you should. In the comments, tell me if you got that one. Going back to 1993, I know some real fans got that line and where it was from. Anyways, the movie ends on a strong note with a happy ending. Because this movie actually has an ending. Because, surprise, movies today never friggin' end. You're always looking for a sequel, prequel, reimagining. It's okay to let a movie end. It's okay to make a whole different movie next time. You can make another movie in the same universe from a different point of view. Stop sequeling us to death. Stop going back and remaking old movies because you have no originality for a new movie.
Or sometimes they make a movie with no ending. They don't even put out a sequel, and you're left to your own devices to figure out what happened at the end.
Yep. Pause and then just credits. So, The Last Kumite. Beautiful endeavor. I hear you can get it on DVD in June. It should be coming up within the next 2 weeks. You can get it on DVD. It's streaming now on a bunch of different services. YouTube being one of them. I would say check the movie out if you're in the mid-range between your 30s, 40s, or 50s, or if you have a affinity for movies between the 70s, 80s, and 90s genre. When movies still were good. When movies still gave you a feeling that you wanted to go out and do something. You should feel energized from the movies you want. If it's a sad movie, you should feel sad. If it's a funny movie, you should laugh. If it's a sci-fi movie, you should be disturbed a little bit. If it's a horror movie, you should be frightened. These are movies that are supposed to invoke certain emotions. Movies don't do that anymore. This movie made me want to walk out and kick somebody's ass. It did what it was supposed to do. I give it that. It is 80s brought back to the 2020s. I appreciate that. It's like a video game. I was watching a video game as a movie, like Street Fighter. Even in the 80s, you could have done without most of the dialogue. You just wanted to see the fighting. It is what it is. Most of the Kung Fu movies that I watched from that genre, I could pretty much tell you the stories of the Shaw Brother ones. Some of the lesser known ones, like Master the Blind Guillotine, blind or flying, depending on which version you got. I can tell you the story and generally what happens, but I can't tell you scene for scene about that. I know there was a tournament. People come from all across the world. See where we're going with this? There's a fight, and then there's a winner, and then there's more movie. The guy with the eyes and the long eyebrows with the hat, he throws the hat on your head, yanks your damn neck off your skull. Yes, you remember that movie? I know some of you was like, hey, I saw, yeah, you remember that Kung Fu movie. The dude, the monk with the bald head with the hat in his hand. Wah! He throws the hat, it just spin around, it just land on your head, and he just yank your shit off. Yeah, that was a great movie. Not dialogue-wise. It's not going to win any Academy Awards. It was simple, fun. Which is what The Last Kumite is. Simple, fun. Brought back from a time period we need to revisit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give this movie... I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a go because it did what it did. It knew what it was. It gave me what it wanted to give me. The music was from the 80s. The shots from the 80s. The fighting scene. The choreography from the 80s. The stars. Definitely worth it. Plus, there's a 2 or 3 scenes in here with Cynthia Rothrock in a very, very, very tight shirt. She still looks good. She still got it. She still got it. Cynthia still got it. I was like, Cynthia, hopefully you're not going to do too many moves in that shirt. That I don't feel the lycra or polyester could contain that amount of blessing. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that she didn't do none of her splits, flip, kick moves, because, whew, just put it this way. She could have rented that shirt to the Power Rangers. They probably wore the same size. And then there's a scene at the end with Billy Blanks, who I was waiting this whole movie. I was like, he still looks predominantly good. Like, why isn't he fighting in the Kumite? Like, why is he the mentor? But I get it. He was the mentor in the movie back in the day. I gotta remember the name of it, where he was a janitor and the kid was being beat up at school and he taught the kid how to fight and the kid went into fighting in this thing and he was the janitor. Then he ended up fighting, going back. I remember those movies, all those movies, but he was the mentor in this one. But he got up and chased after my boy from Die Hard with the blonde hair. And then he started fighting and I'm like, Billy Blanks, oh my god, them 1986 kicks, oh my god, them roundhouses from 1976, oh my god, them 1980s, my man's socks, he wore the socks up to the shins. You remember them socks back in the day that had the 3 stripes that go all the way up to the shins? And he had the sneakers. I don't know, I think those are his real sneakers that's in this movie. I think he pulled them out of the closet and wore them for this movie because you can't get them shoes anymore. The sneakers and the socks he wore for this movie, I'm like, bro, that's from his personal wardrobe. There's no way in hell he bought that. But I was feeling it, bro. I was feeling it. You wanted to feel 80s? That shit was 80s. Them socks with the French fry stripes that went all the way up past the calves to the kneecaps. Oh my god, Billy Blanks. And he did a spinning back kick that was just, oh my god, it was like, the spinning back kick had 1980s written on his leg. It was just, oh my god, it was fucking amazing. Oh my god, that's why I give it a goal. That's why I give it a goal. I have to. I'm sorry. I keep seeing the fight scene in my head from Billy Blanks. Oh my god. Oh my. Them sneakers. Them sneakers and them socks. I'm sorry. Them sneakers and them socks. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. Oh my god, that was worth it alone. To revisit them sneakers and them socks. Oh my god, man. Woo! Woo! Billy, thank you, man. I needed that in my life, brother. I needed that in my life, man. Oh my god. I didn't realize how much I missed you kicking and them sneakers and them socks, bro, until you did that. That shit was it was nostalgic. Oh my god, Last Kumite, man. Oh my god, please stick around for them last fight scenes. Billy Blanks, bro, we need you in more. You are a national treasure, brother. Don't change them socks or them sneakers, man. Keep them Johns. Just please do a few more movies with some kicks with them sneakers and them socks, bro. I need them in my life, man. Bro, you make me want to go out and find them socks. I might look on Amazon to see if they sell them 3-stripe socks. Oh my god. Whew. So, from the Game Dojo, I am your host, the Game Ninja. We give the Last Kumite gold. It is gold here from the Game Dojo 24K reviews. It is gold. Go see it. Support the production team. Support the staff. Support the movie. We need more movies like this. I will take 1,000 of these movies over one of the new bullshits that we get every single last day just cranked out of this bullshit machine. Oh my god. Oh, my lungs hurt. Oh, Billy Blanks. Billy Blanks. Hold on, let me see if I can show you a picture of them things. Hold on one second. Okay. Hold it together. Hold it together. Oh shit. Okay, so he got he got the sweatpants tucked into the socks in this scene. I gotta show you. Hold on. Alright. Alright, I gotta zoom in. You gotta see this shit. Look, alright. The sneakers with the sweatpants tucked into the socks. The sneakers with the sweatpants tucked into the socks. Oh my god. Oh, Billy Blanks. Oh Lord. Oh, Billy Blanks. Ladies and gentlemen from the Game Dojo, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining me. Please see the Last Kumite. This shit was amazing. This took me back to 1987, man. This took me back. This took me back. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here.